I'm Oscar Montenegro, your host of Professionals in My Car. If you have an individual or organizational leadership questions, please email me. I enjoy hearing from our viewers. I'm excited to introduce to you my next guest. She's a graduate of the University of Kansas, received a degree in marketing and advertising. After she graduated, she moved out to LA and worked in the advertising industry for companies like the Cartoon Network and Adult Swim. She soon realized that it wasn't an environment that she wanted to be in for very long. And so she started a dog running company and also became certified in yoga through Yoga Works. So she was running her dog running company during the day and then teaching yoga in the evenings. She had the opportunity to move back to Kansas, and when she did, she was encouraged to open a yoga studio, and she did. Her first class, that first session, she had one person show up, and the rest is history. I'm excited to introduce to you my next guest. Here we go. Professionals in My Car, I'm your host, Oscar Montenegro. Today I have Jessa Voos in the hot seat, the owner of Orange Sky Yoga. Welcome.
It. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. Let's get right into it.
All right.
Tell us what you specialize in.
Well, I teach yoga, obviously, but that goes beyond just the physical practice of yoga. So a lot of people come to yoga for different reasons. Sometimes they're coming because they're tight and they need to stretch. Sometimes they need stability. Sometimes they want to check in. Sometimes they want to check out. And so we try to at Orange Sky facilitate a place where regardless of why you're there, you're getting what you need out of the practice. And then at the end of the day, we're going back to what yoga actually is. And yoga is meant to help us pay attention to what's happening right in front of us. So how can we create a space where people can connect with themselves enough that they pay attention to what's happening in life?
So being present.
Yes, exactly. Being present.
Okay. Yeah. Great. And so what does it take to be a leader in this industry? And so how do you set yourself apart from the competition?
Well, I feel like at least what I've tried to do with Orange Sky is create a community. And what I hear from a lot of people about yoga is that the hardest part about yoga is getting through the door. So trying to educate people on what yoga is, getting them into the door, and then once they're there, creating an environment where they feel that they're amongst friends and they are supported, and it's more than just the practice, but actually creating community and creating an experience for people.
Fun. It sounds fun already.
I know, it is fun. You should come.
So what does it take to be a leader of people in this business? Meaning, how do you get your clients to execute on their yoga goals or, training goals or whatever it might be? And how do you get your staff to execute on common goals of the business?
Sure. Well, for the staff, again, we're trying to create this environment or this experience for people. And I have a vision for what I want that to be. But if I want my staff to get on board and buy in, I have to make them feel like they're a part of the process and that their voices are heard and that so at the end of the day, they ultimately have buy-in on what we're trying to create for people. And as far as it is for the experience for the yoga student, I think that trying to educate the students on what yoga actually is and continue to educate them through the practice, and maybe that's challenging their practice or maybe it's backing off their practice, but acknowledging what yoga is and continuing to push them in that direction.
Great. And so you've seen some success with this, obviously, correct?
Well, yeah. Our doors are still open, so that's good.
That's a good sign. A couple more questions for you. If we wanted to duplicate you from the standpoint of what it takes to lead in this industry, what are those competencies? What does it take?
I think to be a good yoga teacher, you have to continue to grow and educate yourself and ask questions. And for myself, at least, the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. And so having that thirst for knowledge and the desire to continue to learn, so that then you can in turn take that information to your students and your teachers, and then as a studio owner, grow your teachers and kind of bring them up and grow your students and rise them up, I think is really important. And then also being humble enough to know that it is a process and you are always going to be learning more, and you will learn from your students, you will learn from your staff, you'll learn from your mentors, but there's always an opportunity to continue to grow.
Excellent. One last question for you, Jessa. What can people do starting right now to get on the path of effective leadership?
I feel like to be an effective leader in anything, you have to have a passion for it, and you have to, again, have that drive to pursue something that means something near to you or near to your heart, and then have the humility to continue to grow and learn and ask questions and be curious, and yeah.
This is great. This is stuff people can do today, right now, right?
Yeah. Go out today and be a leader.
Jessa, thank you so much for getting in the hot seat. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon.